Okay, I don't feel safe.
Safe is like the last thing I'm feeling.
Yeah, we're not calling it a war.
No, it's a special military operation that will be over very soon.
Very soon. Few
very
days,
soon.
and it's gonna be over.
Kyiv in 3 days, Iran in like 10.
I don't need to condemn Hamas. I don't need to.
Yeah, you just kind of have to accept there is no bottom.
I hope they send these shaheeds to a good purpose, to retaliate for the strikes. You can send nudes to me if you want. I'm okay with it.
That was not very reassuring, was it?
Hello everyone. I'm gonna be
I think that's a bit too happy.
Okay.
I feel like.
Hello everyone. How do you want me to be like this?
I don't know. Just be yourself.
Okay.
Just.
Okay.
Hello everyone, and we're still talking.
We are.
Okay,
we
so
are.
we are.
It's
Surprisingly.
the fourth episode, so I'm even lost my voice talking about this. No, it's really for me. It's like it's a huge milestone, you know. I think it's
four episodes is already.
Yeah. It's like 100.
I think we already officially made it. We can say, yeah.
Yeah. It's one of my longest running shows, for sure.
Okay, that's promising. So
it is. How's your life? What's new? Do you have something new this week?
Do I have something? No, I don't know. I'm just looking at what's new in the world. Mostly, I'm compared to that, my life is boring and uninteresting, but in a good way, to be honest.
Yeah, kind of. I saw so many memes and Instagram reels and TikToks about Balkans because I get a lot of Balkan memes, and Balkans being the most normal place in the world right now, you know. The most calmest and most peaceful. Yeah.
I mean,
who knew that?
Who knew? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So, do you want to go straight to the hell of the world we're living in right now?
Unless you have something to tell, or what else could I tell?
I have the same things. I had a small vacation, you know. I visited our friends in Montenegro. Yeah, it was nice. It's always nice to reconnect with people, to see someone you see, I don't know, once in a year or in 2 years. Some of them I've never seen for 4 or 5 years. So
yeah, when you call both of them I think I haven't seen for probably 7-8 years for sure. One of them 10. So
let's hope you're going to change it in the near future.
That it's direction to me to make it to your part of the world.
Our hemisphere.
The peaceful one. Yeah.
Yeah, the peaceful one in this strange world. No, I think it's going okay. Again, I'm just very confused and very. I'm gonna say tired of everything, of looking at everything, thinking about everything, because again we're going to talk about this today, but I'm very confused about my position on different stuff, about how I need to look at. Do you want a good segue with the amount of people from United States? So we were looking at the stats. It was even for the previous episode, because I was thinking about talking about some stuff in US, about ICE and all of this shit, which also boils my heart, and everything inside me, but we didn't have like enough time, so we skipped it. But I was looking on our YouTube stats to see how many people from United States were watching us, and at that point it was like 20%, I think, like 20 something. And
now it's 30.
Yeah, now it's 30. So I think like at this point we are officially American podcast. I think we can
Who
say
knew?
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we are in, we can talk about American stuff and about stuff that, at least in my opinion, America has a lot to do with.
US.
In terms of US. We just had this Bad Bunny Super Bowl thing. Did you see it?
I've heard of it.
He basically he was counting all the America countries, like like Latin America countries, like Central America, North America. Talking about US is not America basically, and here's me calling US America once again.
America, yeah, but that's a bit also because in the Russian language it's so common. But I kind of
It is.
Right.
It's kind of short.
But also version. In English. But no. But I really try to kind of catch myself when I want to say that, because it's not better to call things with their own names, and America doesn't really spreads too far. America does not equal the US.
It's so different, so diverse, in terms of like cultures, languages, and
exactly. So I just prefer to use another word.
No, it's like surely it's better to use US and not call United States the Americas. So the United States are in the news, and I see a lot of parallels, a lot of familiar things, a lot of special military operation language.
Special military operation, yeah.
We're not calling it a war.
No, it's a special military operation that will be over very soon.
Very soon. Few days, and it's gonna be over.
Few days, and it's gonna be over, and it will all be, Kiev in 3 days, Iran in like 10. That's kind of the rhetoric, but yeah.
Okay, so I'm not the crazy one, okay? Here, so
no. That was literally one of the first associations that I had, like in one of the first speeches that he gave. That's the whole rhetoric. It's framed very, very similarly. So. It's not, without like narratives about historical, it's not about like restoring some kind of historical motherland or whatnot. It's not about that, but there is narrative about liberation as well, right? So that's also a common thread with Russia's rhetoric against Ukraine and US rhetoric against Iran. It's also liberation is talked about a lot.
But I think if they could use the historical stuff, they would, because do you remember?
Yeah, they would, but they can't. There is no way. Do you
remember this shit with Gulf of Mexico?
Yes,
and them calling
of course,
it. I think it's the obvious, thing that you can tell how they can use it. In terms of It's not even like a Gulf of Mexico; it's a Gulf of America, of US. It's so stupid, It's even more stupid, I think, than some Putin's cultural things. At least he tries to look very scientific and academic when he.
Don't give him credit for that.
I think he.
He's it might be a false narrative, but he's constructing some kind of long narrative, and he can stretch it to apparently like a couple of hours. So that's
well, it's always kind of false narrative. To be honest,
But
they always have this shit.
No, but So U.S. and Iran. I literally I have a friend who is. I know a few people from Iran, but I have a friend who is in Iran like now.
Yeah.
And we literally talked 2 days before everything started, and they were telling me that everybody there was already kind of waiting for when things would start. It's a bit. It was a different because people on the outside, or at least people I spoke to, were still a bit unsure, or saying like, maybe nothing will happen, or maybe, again, similar with Ukraine, right? But people on the inside of the Iran were already okay. They are gonna start bombing at some point. We just don't know when. And then, literally 2 days later, they started. And the internet connection right now there is not great. I don't know, some messages come through sometimes, but doesn't seem to be, like, overall they're jamming like a lot. So it's actually very hard to reach people also. Yeah.
But it improved after the protests, right? Because they had this massive shutdowns.
They did, no, then it improved, but then now I think now it's bad again. Sort of. Like when they started bombing, or at least like
Yeah.
It's and it's on and off, right? Like it improved, but it was also like I don't know. So what are your kind of so there are two main narratives about this, or at least like you can divide roughly in two. The people who think it's like completely illegal what is going on, and that it's destroying like the whole international law and everything everything on which like the current world order was based. I mean, it was already shaky for a while, but now people say it's even worse. And there are people who are saying, but it's Iran is a terrible regime, which is true. That killed thousands of people, and it had to go at some point. And this is there is no other way to get rid of something like that than by kind of brute force like that. So you said that you're kind of in between, or not in between, but you have complex feelings.
I have a lot of complex feelings, and I think the thing that is maybe more tiring for me than the war and all of this horrors itself is the constant side picking questions.
Either you're with this side or with the other side, and there is nothing kind of I'm not gonna hit microphones, getting excited.
I think I'm very tired of having to pick a side in every conflict, in every situation. You have to have some sort of ideology, you have to have some labels, and at some point...
it's a little bit of either you're completely on board with everything that is being said, or you're not. And there is kind of no in between. Either you're completely with one side or completely with the other, and nothing in between is kind of considered good enough, or by either of the sides.
Yeah, because as you said, the regime in Iran is one of the worst regimes in the world. We all saw this. It's like 1% of the whole massacre that was really in Iran, because, again, with massive shutdowns of internet, with not having an ability to film videos, to post videos, we don't even know the full scale of of amount of victims of these protests, of police brute force.
No, we don't know. We don't know. We know it's a lot.
The thing we saw, at least like the videos I saw, it's enough to say, okay, this regime is like, it's inhumane, you know, it's it should be replaced. It should be in a normal world. It shouldn't exist. And like there's an end of the sentence here. You know, this is a point. And another point is that we need to stop trying to like deal with other countries' stuff. You know, because all of the things that are in the world right now wrong, all of the wars, all of the conflicts, all of the problems like territorial disputes, everything starts from someone getting their nose to someone else's business, basically.
Yeah, I guess somebody going to fix other people's problem. I mean, they're not. I mean, that's also, it's just an excuse as well, right? The goal is not actually to, like, you know, help demolish the regime or whatnot. So,
but even if it is, again, like I just know that the consequences of all of this is going to be much worse, you know, and even I'm not even 30 at this point, but I already saw so many times all of this. I already saw these circles so many times.
Yeah, the cycles of like invading,
absolutely,
saying that it's going to lead to something better, and it never does.
Yeah,
as a result,
and it's going to it's going to like to a hate cycle, you know, because you are while you're bombing Iran, while you're bombing like this girls' school, you know, and all of this, like
liberating women.
Yeah, while you are burning the oil fields, which is like it's incredibly fucked up because it's burning like very long, and it's very hard to deal with the fires from oil fields. And it's like if there's a thing you can bomb to make the life of normal ordinary people a literal hell, is to bomb oil fields. Yeah. And you know, while you're doing this, you are raising more like generations of people, of kids, of teenagers, who is going to hate the US, who is going to hate Israel, who is going to...
Yeah, of course, and for a good reason from their side, right? Like,
absolutely.
It's because, I mean, overall, like, I don't know, yeah, like some people like to throw like around the argument that, you know, yeah, now they killed this, the Khamenei, and what that look, Iranians, you know, abroad are celebrating and whatnot, but I mean, them celebrating that the dictator is dead doesn't prove anything about, you know, bombing other country fundamentally being like wrong, and none of them are celebrating like the school of girls being blown up. And overall, I think most of the people who are actually like have stakes like in all of this, yeah, they have very complex feelings about all of that, because of course, like a lot of them want this regime gone, but do they want it gone this way, with their like families, friends being bombed, and like oil rains and whatnot? That's definitely not what they want, or that's definitely
and that's the thing I always I always talk about when talking about Palestine, when like if you're completely destroying all the schools, all the cities, all the hospitals, etc., even if there's like a terrorist behind it or like under it,
that doesn't matter, you know, because in that argument always surprises me, because I don't think that would fly like actually in any other context. You know, if somebody would bomb, you know, I don't know if like Ukraine would bomb like something like in Russia where, and bomb to the ground like a school of kids, and then the Ukrainians would be like, oh, but there are like, Russian like tunnels underneath like with the military, so what? That doesn't give you an excuse to bomb a school. That's still like, then you just don't do that regardless. I don't know.
Yeah.
But somehow with Palestine, some people are ready to swallow that argument, and they're like, but there are tunnels underneath where Hamas is hiding, and it's Hamas's fault because they don't let people hide and they use them as human shields. But I mean,
the problem is, even if you don't care about people, even if you're like an awful human being and you don't care about like children being killed or something, like, there's a lot of people, but where do you think these kids are going to go after losing everything?
No, you're just creating a new cycle of hate in that way.
How do you like even think of them not picking, for example, like an AK and going to murder someone after this? Because like you did this, you did this by.
I mean, you destroy everything they have. You dehumanize them completely. They live in a system where, they're never seen as fully human. Again, if we switch to Palestine, but if we talk about Palestine, most of them, I mean, they never even met like an Israeli person, right? Unless it's a military that is like pointing their gun at them. That's, and then you're talking about, and then saying, oh no, but like they just, if they wanted peace, they could have had it, and it's their fault that they like kind of keep attacking. No, like, I mean, you're perpetuating the system that doesn't let them lead a normal life or doesn't give them a chance to build a normal life. And then I
don't remember if we talked about this. I kind of feel like I already talked about this, but I'm not sure. Talking about side picking, I'm so frustrated every time when I see Ukrainians defending what Israel is doing in Palestine. Did we talk about this?
No, we didn't talk about this directly.
I was following this Ukrainian. She's like a blogger. I'm sure you know her, Nika Belakonsova.
Yes. Yes.
And she writes pretty interesting takes on like Ukraine for Russians a lot, and
I
really
followed
like
her quite a lot. I haven't actually read anything, but like I followed her a lot, especially in the first like few years.
Yeah, she has a really nice texts, nice this approach of like Russian people.
Explaining a little bit the reality
trying to explain.
Somewhat.
Yeah. And at some point I just like was on my phone, as it always like starts from this. I think it was on Threads. It wasn't even on Instagram. She posted. I don't remember like the concrete like the things the words she was using, but it was basically like everyone who is still in Palestine is complicit with Hamas, and like if you are still there.
I think I remember something like it was at the beginning, right, when the whole thing like just escalated.
Yeah, it was
after it was like 7th of October, shortly after that or something.
I don't think it's like this shortly, but maybe a few months into all of this.
A few, but like my point is not like in the last few months. It was like
but not already, in the day, like it's not.
Not in the day, but I think I remember that post actually. From her, and I think from a few other people who kind of tried to argue like similar.
I saw at least like several Ukrainian pretty nice bloggers and like writers.
Yeah, no, but it's a lot, Ukrainian and also Russian, like,
yes, a
liberal,
lot of yes,
oppositional figures, a lot overall, both Ukraine and Russia, like people, even from, so-called like liberal, somewhat left-wing circles, right? They tend to be quite pro-Israeli on average.
I tried to explain it to myself that maybe people just have a lot of like family or relatives or friends in Israel.
I think it's partly that.
Yeah, because
I think it's partly that.
Russian liberal community is a lot was moved. Many of the Russian like liberal guys moved to Israel.
Yeah, I think
before the war,
actually,
after the war.
I think it's that, and I think it's the fact that overall, for a lot of, because a lot of Russian and Ukrainian people, they have some connection to Israel. They either have relatives there, right? They have like maybe have some roots, like Jewish roots or whatnot. But also, I feel like for a lot of people, like in Russia, in Ukraine, also, or like former Soviet Union, overall, Israel was always seen as this, place where you escape from the Soviet Union or, from Russia. And when you get there, those people get this feeling, oh, now I'm, in a real democracy. I'm in a place where I have freedom of speech, when I can live like my life without restrictions, so to say. And so Israel is kind of associated with this freedom, like a democracy for people, even though the reality is very different for the Palestinians, but most of the people are not even aware of that because Israeli propaganda is very good. And it's very easy to live in Israel. Even for like many years, it's very easy to live there and not be aware at all of like, how that system functions, actually. So I think that's partly that as well.
I think, it's like, but I always had these discussions with people who are more like pro-Israel, or like at least not this pro-Palestinian like me, that I ask more from like Israel, and the standards from Israel for me are higher because you basically you always tell me, like the whole Western world is constantly telling me that how do they call it, the only democracy in the Middle East, something like this.
Yeah, that's a common kind of trope. Or
this is what you basically is saying to me, that this is a democracy and this is the only democracy.
If it's a democracy, then the standards should also be higher.
Yeah, so that's what I'm asking. I can't ask, for example, like from Hamas. Hamas for me are the terrorists. There's no questions. There's no question for me. Is like I don't need to condemn Hamas. I don't need to, because there's like a condemned terrorist by the Western world, and. But you have this democracy, which I consider also like a terrorist state, And here where I have this whole, this moral dilemma for me, because that's where my problem is. Because I consider myself as a part of the Western world. I consider myself like I live in the Western world, basically. Okay, you can say like. Eastern Europe is not like a Western Europe, sure, but it's still a part of the Western world, right? And I'm not like I'm not considering myself a Middle Eastern guy, right? So
not that I know of. No.
So my world is a Western world, and this Western world is constantly telling me that there's a democracy and there's the terrorists.
Yeah, so but that's also a very hypocritical rhetoric, to be honest.
It is, but again, that's why I ask the Western world, and Western people basically
uphold their own standards.
Yeah. That's why I'm talking more about like war crimes of Israel, and because again, for me, there is no question about like October the 7th, for example, or something like this. I don't need to label this. For me, the labels are like,
very clear.
Very clear.
Yeah. No, but I think Europe lost the right to tell anybody like who is a democracy and who is violating what, like a while, and especially now when they completely like refuse to condemn what the US is doing, and nobody like in the European Parliament or whatnot said a single word really against it, and that's just where do you go from there? Like, I don't really know now, because speaking of calling states a terrorist states, at this point, is Russia any more a terrorist state than the US? I really don't think so. That's, I think, a legitimate question to ask, and I actually don't think that the answer is like, no, Russia is a terrorist state, but US, that's different. I don't think that's different. I don't think it's any different, actually. So yeah.
Yeah, and the funny thing, I'm kind of like, I'm okay with, I don't know, with sanctions, with even like sanctions more directed to the people, not like, I don't think it's this fair, but okay, if you do it, okay, let's do it, but let's do it in all the cases. I want not only if we're disqualifying, for example, like Russia from sport events, or like I don't know, different other events like Eurovision or something. Let's be consistent,
but that's the problem, right? There is no consistency. There are double standards everywhere. But
that's also why we are here, That's why we are at this point, because someone can like constantly like US bomb all the countries.
Because they have the force to do it, and in the end, But that's a very sad message in the end, right? Because then in the end, the message is like, okay, all these laws, international law, whatever. Like in the end, it doesn't matter. What matters is like, do you have the resources and the power to do whatever you want to do? And do others have like any power to stop you? And if the answer is no, then you can do whatever you want. That's essentially where we're at. And nobody has any kind of like checks and balances that could in any way well, I don't know actually. Like, would the US be hurt if suddenly all the Europe would put like sanctions on the US or something? I don't know.
Well, I
mean,
think
it would do something.
To some extent, yes.
To some extent. But I mean, nobody is going to do that. So that's...
If Russian economy can survive, for like 5 years,
Russian
and
economy
I think
is
5-10 more years.
So, So the US can definitely survive for a while.
Yeah. The only thing we can basically like hope for is a more active international community and more punishment from international community, more force from international community.
My hope is rather weak, I have to say. In this case, I usually try to be
it is and
hopeful, but it's not looking very promising already for a while, and right now it's even more depressing.
And if you like, I don't know, if you go into any historical events and any history, basically, you will see that, okay, we already had all of this, we already had all of these wars that came unpunished for Western world. We already had all these bombings of another states, which
I mean, nothing is new, but the technical capacities are unfortunately new. I mean, we talked about this a little bit last time, right? But the whole autonomous weapons, AI and whatnot, overall technology that makes it much more much more easy to wage war, actually. And I looked at some numbers as well, right? Like, and overall, if you calculate like the price, right, of also how much like does a drone cost versus like how much does an air defense system cost? Like, it's much cheaper to just keep attacking. Like a drone costs much cheaper than, you know, one single air defense system, and like rejecting like one of the attacks. That costs much more money. So you're spending much more money like on the defense comparatively to like just attacking. So attack is also disproportionately like much cheaper than defense right now, which is also like messed up in a way. Because every time you're defending, you're spending like millions, and a drone costs like I don't remember what it was, 30,000 something like that euros. Dollars. So that's that changes the dynamics of the war as well, because essentially attack becomes more profitable in a way. So that's kind of where we're at. And what do you make of the whole argument of but Iran, terrorist state, and they also have a nuclear program, and you cannot allow them to develop a nuclear program, because they will destroy like everybody if we let them continue.
I think there's a very cool compilation of basically I think it's like only Netanyahu, like it's just Netanyahu who is constantly talking about the danger of them being like bombed by a nuclear weapon from Iran in like 2 weeks or something. So he's like constantly saying, okay, we are like 2 weeks or a month from Iran developing a nuclear weapon. And it's like recordings, I think, starting from 2005 or something. So, and it's like 10 or 12 minutes of constantly like Netanyahu saying that, okay, the nuclear weapon from Iran will strike in like 2 weeks or 1 month. And it's, it's funny in a way. It's not so funny for me as a person who knows, for example, that Russia has a nuclear weapon, and knowing how our nuclear system works, and knowing that we have an absolutely crazy old wanker in president chair,
it's not a comforting thought. No.
As we talked in a previous episode, I thought at some point that I understand how they all think and how he thinks. But after the war, I realized, okay, they are just crazy.
No, because he is a bit off the rails, so you cannot. That's the problem, right? That
and again,
you cannot really predict, and you cannot necessarily always rely on a.
And it's not just him. That's the problem, I look at the whole like this bunch of the politicians on the highest level, on Trump, on Netanyahu, Putin, all these ayatollahs in Iran.
Just put them on an island or something.
It would be nice, but I'm looking at them and I'm like, okay, I don't feel safe thinking that these are the guys who are making the decision on using or not.
Safe is like the last thing I'm feeling. Like, of all of those people in the pub. Safe wouldn't be like
you know what I mean, right?
Like, I know what you mean.
Not like
No, but it's just funny, like, you're mentioning like Netanyahu, like, Trump, Putin, and it's like, I don't feel safe. Like, no shit.
We need this. Oh, you probably don't know this. We had this trend on TikTok and Instagram also. It was paid by UAE like chiefs. They paid bloggers to make this reels after they were attacked by Iran. They paid a bunch of bloggers to make these videos of, I live in Dubai or like UAE. Don't you feel like unsafe. No, I feel safe because these are the guys who are protecting me, and this is like the sheikhs of the UAE, and it was like it was so much of this bullshit because they paid, I think, like pretty much everyone who's living there, and everyone started doing parodies. And I saw a lot of things like in Germany with Merz, in Serbia with Vucic, it's so funny because, you know, of course they are like joking about this, you know, they're like using this I don't know, moments when like Merz is stumbling or something, you know, and so I think we need the same thing. That don't you feel unsafe? No, I feel very safe with.
I feel very
these
safe. Those are the guys protecting me.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's my problem, you know. I'm joking about this nuclear threat from Iran, but I'm also not joking. And again, this is the problem I have. I feel that the Iran problem and Iran threat is pretty real in terms of like when you have a dictatorship like this, and you have the state that has a potential with like weapons and stuff like Iran has, it's always a problem. But I feel the same problem from US. I feel the same problem from Russia. I feel the same problem from Israel. Because they all have a lot of weapons, they all have a lot of resources. They all are basically like some sort of a dictatorship at this point, you know, in some way at least.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, calling them democracies at this point would be quite a stretch.
It's an overstate. Yeah. But you know what I mean, right? So I'm joking about this, but I'm like I don't want to be a guy who's like, the Iran is just a nice, friendly neighbor, you know. It's
they're just misunderstood and.
It's a bullshit.
No, but that's not the case. No, it's bullshit, but it's also, but at the same time, right? As you said, like, is this the solution? It doesn't seem like this kind of solutions ever led to anything apart from perpetuating like a new cycle of hate and a new. And also, what's the expectation, right? Like the regime is still very much there far. That's also, you know, that doesn't look. I mean, you never know. Again, with Syria, without any kind of external, you never know when things suddenly fall apart. But the Iranian regime so far is not showing any signs of suddenly kind of cracking from the inside. They seem quite consolidated at the top. So, yeah.
They are, and again, these types of things, as we already talked about this, it can even unite people around all these dictators.
Yeah, because when you're getting bombed from the outside, it's much easier to unite people on the inside because there is an external threat, right? So then...
Yes.
And nobody wants to get bombed. Even the people a lot of people that hate the regime, right, and suffered from it, like, in the moment that you're getting, oil is raining on your head and your house is getting bombed, you're not going to be thinking much about the regime necessarily in that moment. You'll have other concerns.
Even in myself, in terms of I feel like every time I keep reading the news and I keep listening to another like double standards from Western politicians, it's like I'm radicalizing in some way, you know, and I don't like it. I hate it. I feel like it's not me, it's not the values I want to to have. It's not something I want to live with. It's I don't want to radicalize. I don't want to. The big example is I think I posted it on Instagram like yesterday. I was watching this. I have this guilty pleasure of mine watching American political commentators.
I saw you posting about this guy.
Yeah.
Who was,
and this is the guys who is like they're not too far from like my positions, because they're all like more like democratic oriented. They're more like, I don't know. I follow a few people, here and there. It's just because we never had good political commentators basically in Russia, and I was always jealous
of the culture of
Yes. And I was like, okay, if we don't have a culture of political commentary, I'm just going to watch it in the US. It's like with voting, we everyone is asking why Russians are so into watching like this voting nights and all of this stuff. It's because we don't have this,
Exactly. I mean, it's that's also why we don't have political commentators, because the whole politics and elections and whatnot is a circus. So, what is there to comment on if it's all a sham, more or less?
I feel like the problem is even if we have like good good bloggers, like streamers or something, when they start talking about ideology or like their political views or like how they think Russia should be in terms of like its political system and stuff, every time I'm like, okay, man, first we need to get the dictatorship away, First we need to get the basically guys who I consider invaders of my country, from
you
the power.
have a point, even though, at the same time you do need to think about what's after, right? Because
you do, but it's absolutely useless at this point, and I can't talk about ideology in the country which doesn't have any
that's not the top priority, definitely.
Yes.
That's not the priority. But...
So, getting back on the track, I was watching a political commentator called Vosh. I think maybe someone knows him. And he was talking about the same oil fields bombings. And there was a phrase about basically about retaliation of Iran for these bombings to the neighboring countries, and he said the phrase that like, I hope their shaheeds will find
find all their targets or something like that.
Yeah, something like this.
Yeah, he said something like Iran is bombing neighboring countries, as they should. I hope
as they should. And the thing is, I thought, okay, but I kind of agree in terms of like, I understand the point, I understand what he's trying to say, but this fucking shaheeds has been in my head for like how many 3 and something years, because they weren't at the beginning of the war. They're like from the end of the first year or something.
Yeah, pretty quickly, but like not immediately.
But at least like 3 years they are constantly, and every time we are talking about we're talking with my friends in Ukraine, they always tell me that they can't really react normally to scooters anymore,
No, because the sound. Yeah.
Yes, because
the sound is very similar.
The shahed sounds are like, you can't really it has this distinctive sound like a scooter, basically.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that basically is stuck in my head for the last few years. And now I'm kind of agreeing with the person who is saying like, oh, okay, I hope they send these shaheds to a good like purpose to retaliate for the strikes. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because again, first of all, American liberal commentators talking about shaheds finding targets is insane, you know. And second, me feeling like this is kind of a position I can agree with. This whole thing is so, I don't know, it's completely fucked. I'm sorry, we have a lot of F-bombs today, but I can't really
there are
find
sometimes no
another
other
word.
words.
Yeah, I can't find another word for it because it's so out of what I want to be as a person, as a human being.
No, that's not what you want to be wishing on anyone, or that's
absolutely.
Not what you,
And especially when the same freaking shaheds is
are destroying Ukrainian
yes.
lives and cities for more than 3 years already. I think about 3 years they already exist, maybe longer. But
and talk about there is radicalizing, and side
but there is no kind of good way around it, right? And also, like, how can you not feel conflicted about it? Because on one hand, as you said, right, like, Iranian regime, terrible, whatnot, but at the same time, when a country is getting bombed all over, like, what do you expect it to do? Just not send anything back, or not try to defend itself? I mean, that's not how it works. So, that's where we're at.
The problem is I still don't have any answer to this, I still don't know what to do, because I realize simultaneously that I want to get into this rage against the machine, because I think it was one of the first phrases in our podcast that let's break the system, let's bring down the system, and
break the wheel.
And I want to have this rage against the system, against the machine. But I also realize that all of this system and all of this machine is feeding from this rage, It's building it, and I'm kind of being pushed
it's amplifying it on purpose as well.
Exactly. I am being pushed to this radicalization,
You are, because I mean that's what it's getting the energy from, right? Like, and that's also how each side amplifies their own point of view by kind of making everything in between like obsolete and like unacceptable and useless in a way. But I also don't have an answer, right, apart from like trying to stick to my at least attempt at a more nuanced position than just
no labels, than what is being no side picking.
Than what is being offered. I mean, side picking. Like it's.
I think that's one of the worst thing you can do. Basically, is going like completely on one or another side without.
And it is, and it's but it's telling that one like a Russian or like Armenian blogger, like YouTuber that I watch, like maybe you know him as well. He makes like videos about like literature. Armen Zakharyan is his name.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah. No, but like the last video that he made, like the topic doesn't matter right now, but overall, in that video he made like a similar point to what we're making. I think he said like stop kind of feeding this rage, stop feeding this like animosity, between different sides.
Yeah.
And what he got as a reaction from a lot of people, I think, was indeed quite telling, because a lot of people interpreted his message about that as a message of don't be political, don't get involved in politics. And I think that already says a lot about how people think about politics. If when somebody says don't kind of feed the animosity, people take that as a message not to be political at all, when it was not what he was saying. Completely, his point was exactly that there are nuances, and that there is complexity, and that, just picking a side or something doesn't solve anything. But people really didn't understand that. People took it as okay, don't pick a side means don't be interested in politics and just don't care.
Yeah,
so
we
that
are
says a lot.
Very complex, human beings, and we are created to have a complex feelings about different stuff and complex, understanding of different stuff.
Yeah.
So don't try to simplify yourself. I think it's a good way to put it. Don't try to simplify your feelings. Don't try to label your views, your feelings, and what's important to you. And again, just feel that it's absolutely okay to, for example, again, supporting, Ukraine as a Western side in a Russian-Ukraine war, and simultaneously feeling that Western politics and politicians and countries are betraying your values and not representing your values, and doing a lot of basically same horror stuff that Russia is doing. It's not,
one doesn't exclude the other.
Absolutely. It can be both, basically.
Yeah, it can be both, and not everybody sees that. Sometimes they think Russia is against the US, therefore everything Russia does should be good just because they're, or the other way around, whatnot.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things like this. It's not only about war or...
No, but there are a lot of this, how is it called, package thinking, a bit, right? Yeah, something like that.
This is, again, I think it's kind of positive we can get through from this, and kind of...
I'm not gonna get any more positive in this episode than this. I'm afraid.
And we thought
this was kind of my high.
And we thought 4 years of war was, saddest, basically, and how are we going to get through it?
What can you do?
That's what very wrong in the world right now, that you don't even know that it's it's a bottom of...
No, there is no bottom.
Yeah.
There is no
exactly.
bottom. No, that's what I discussed with my friends as well recently. There is just... you just kind of have to accept there is no bottom. We just kind of keep... You can keep going down and it can continue for a while. It's just, it's a question of when there will be at some point some kind of stop, I hope. But there is no bottom per se. Things can always get worse. Even when it seems like everything is already very shit, it can still get worse. So that was not very reassuring, was it?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
But it's true. So it's bottom doesn't really exist, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay, let's keep it short today.
Let's keep it short. 1 hour is already.
Do you have anything to recommend today?
To recommend, I knew we would talk about Iran, right? So I did. So one book that I was thinking of is it's by Iranian author, and I think now I'm forgetting the name. Azar Nafisi, I think, is her name.
Okay.
And it's a book. It's a way of like a memoir, right? Autobiographical book. It's called like Reading Lolita in Tehran. So the author of the book, she was a teacher in Iran in a school for girls, and she like with a small group like of female students that she kind of knew, trusted. Together with them, she was reading some of the classics, including like Nabokov's Lolita and some other ones like Fitzgerald, whatnot, that are actually prohibited in Iran.
Okay.
And it's kind of a memoir about that, intertwined, with her own life, with some personal stories, but it does show kind of the insights of that regime, right, and the reality of like the women like living in that regime quite well. So it's that was a book I was thinking of when I was thinking of this episode. And I do have a movie in mind as well, like
Okay.
but also by an Iranian director, and that's the one that like it came out like last year, and I think it won even award at the Cannes Festival. I think in English it's called "It Was Just an Accident." It's
I think I saw it.
no, it's so the director is Jafar Panahi, and he filmed it kind of without getting an official permission in Iran, so sort of like illegally. In a way, in the story of the movie is essentially this group of Iranian people, or like at first it's like one person who suddenly, like in a car, like that breaks down, like passing by, like a family, in the man, like from that family, he recognizes one of the people that he suspects was the one who tortured him when he was detained a few years back, like during the protests. And then that guy kidnaps this guy that he suspects was his torturer, and he brings him to other people who were also the protesters, and they're together kind of discussing what to do with this guy, whether that is even the guy that tortured them or not, and whether they should do some kind of revenge, or whether they should act on it or not. It's a rather short movie, actually. It's like only like an hour and a half or so, and it's heavy in some moments, funny in some other moments, but it's also a very, very much worth watching, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's interesting because I don't think I'm sure I didn't watch it, so I'm gonna give it a try.
It was not like again, like with a lot of those movies, right, they don't get released in the big cinemas necessarily, but it's like one of those smaller, but not art house per se, but they don't get like it's not a Marvel blockbuster or something, so they don't get as much exposure as they should, to be honest, in my opinion. This movie.
Yeah, okay.
What did you have?
I kind of feel dumb a bit about after this, because the only things I think I can really suggest to everyone is I think both are pretty popular films. One is Syriana. I think you maybe know it.
But not everybody does, so...
Yes, yeah. And, I realize a lot of times that even if it's like a, I don't know, Oscar-winning film, people can,
still a lot of people
it.
haven't seen... Yeah, so, it's always worth mentioning.
This one goes pretty interesting in terms of, like, geopolitics, in terms of, like, all of the shady stuff, and... unless I'm not going to like spoil or something. And the other one, which is also I think pretty popular, is The Night Bus.
The Night Bus, yeah.
Yeah, it's more Iranian like themed, and it's less political and less like I don't know, secret service stuff. Like, it's more about empathy, more about people coming together, people. I think I wrote it somewhere. It was like an animated thing. How does it called? It's also a movie. It's not a book. Waltz with Bashir. Do you know this thing?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. But it's like it's Israeli-made thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty. And I feel a lot of different feelings when I recommend something, for example, on the topic of Israel, Palestine, or Iran, or something that is made by Israeli people, because it's like it's kind of the thing we were talking with you about Russian-Ukrainian thing. Do you recommend Russian? I don't know, like Russian things when you try to underline the Ukrainian struggle? Does it work like even more if it's Russian thing, or less? Like, you know the problem, right?
It's not an easy question, no.
Yeah, but as a standalone art piece, definitely. It's definitely great thing. And I think I can go a lot. I can basically go, for example, I don't know, for Everything Quiet on the Western Front.
Keep it. We'll still need it at some point.
It's a universal thing, I think.
Yes.
On what we are discussing every episode, I think it's a universal thing.
Yeah. That's a good book.
All Things Quiet. Yeah. Okay, so let's wrap it up at this point. I'm glad that we are not going into all of this for like 2 hours, but it's it's mostly because it's the same things over and over and over, and we need to break it. We need to do something with it. I'm seeing it here, especially in Serbia, so much, because I see like them being this pro-Russian, only because they are still hurt.
Of course.
Only because they were so hurt by US and by all these Western things.
Yeah, but see, those are the results, and what you talked about, right?
Exactly.
Like that's.
So let's try to be better, to break the patterns, at least, like, I don't know, maybe not in the world, maybe just in ourselves. I will try. I'll tell you how I'm dealing with this in the next episodes. Don't forget to make all this stuff that you need to do, like leave a like, stars on Spotify, rating on Apple Podcasts,
hearts. Are there hearts anywhere?
Yeah, yes. You can send hearts. Instagram. You can send nudes to me if you want. I'm okay with it.
I'm fine without. Thank you.
Skip Anya. Send everything to me. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you. I think we are okay in this 3 weeks timetable.
Yes,
right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see you in 3 weeks.
In about 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
We used to be friends, at least that was back then. We used to be more than that, but you fell in love.